Well. Who's in the house? I hope we're up and running here. This is getting a little smoother these days, isn't it, guys? Maybe a little bit. I know who was in the other one. Joe was in the other one. I scheduled it on the app on my phone on the way home. For whatever reason, when you schedule it there, it kick over to the one on the computer. So I had to reschedule it. So we'd probably have more people in here. They're probably wondering what the heck happened to it. But hey, we're here. And look, everybody's joining in. So I guess the notice got out there. Better late than never, right? Welcome to Koffee and Kalashnikovs. This is May 25th, 21, and we're going to have a little fun tonight talking about our favorite platform and a few other things. So if you're not into AKs completely yet, please hang around. We will have some other cool stuff for you too. I got Joe Morgan. He is our number one fan. He's in the house. Trusting God first. Howdy. How are you? I like your I like your handle. Chase Kelly, of course. Joe is first every week, isn't he? He gets his chips ready and whatever he's drinking, and he's ready to go, man, at 7:15. But hi, how are you, Chase? Good to see you. Shared the stream. Good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. There'll be a few others joining in here, I'm sure. But yeah, I almost forgot it was Tuesday, and there's some other live streams going on tonight, certainly bigger than mine, but we'll get it out there. I got some interesting news on some other stuff coming out in the AK world, and since we can't show guns on the channel here, we'll bring you a little Bakelite tonight. How's that? We've got a Chinese Norinco bayonet here. This goes to our wonderful underfolder. I do have a video ready to drop for you guys. Now, you did see the event with Zastava. That was a cool video. Got another one ready to go. The first in the series of my favorite AKs, my top 5. I'm not listing them as top 5. I'm listing them as my favorite because that's a subjective thing. I'm not going to do the argument with this is the best, this is the best AK to buy and everyone should own one or screw off. I'm not doing that. I'm going to tell you and show you what are my favorite 5, and we'll go from there. That's all. And then at the end of it, I'm not telling you they're not coming out in any specific order. They're not coming out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're just coming out. And I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I think of them and all of that. And you guys can keep guessing till we put out the last one. And on number 5, I'm going to tell you my ranking of those 5. You guys can put together your list, and you guys can email it to me. And whoever gets it right is going to get a little surprise, let's say, as to my favorite 5. So you got to be watching to see what they all are. And we'll go from there. So it should be fun. So I'm not even going to tell you what the first one that's coming out is. You'll have it probably tomorrow. I'll finish it up tonight and put it out tomorrow. So it'll be kind of cool. Anyhow, in other news in the AK world, have you guys heard about the Gen 2 IWI Galil? News has been out for a little while. But the Gen 2 is here. It's probably hit shops already, or if it hasn't, it will soon. It's basically, you guys all know what the Ace was, right? Well, they've updated it a bit. And for the better, I think, personally. And kind of want to see what you guys think. First of all, anybody have an Ace? I don't know. They're kind of expensive. But they are nice. If you're thinking about, one AK, what should I buy? And you're okay with veering a little off into the weeds because a Galil is not truly an AK. It's a form of, derivative of. But man, that Ace is nice. The the workmanship, the quality, the fit and fitment, the finishing, everything is phenomenal about that gun, right? But had the quad rail, which was a little old-fashioned, and it was like a cheese grater unless you kept the handguards on, and when you put the plastic handguards on, well, it just felt huge up front, big, round, just a little uncomfortable, that's all. And you could get that gun in 7.62, you could get it in 5.56, you could get it in 308. That 308 is a hell of a rifle or pistol. You can get the pistol in 308, guys. Just super nice gun. And I don't know if a lot of you guys knew it or not, but that came out in 5.45. They made the 500 kind of a test batch. They came in. Very, very rare rifle. They were kind of experimenting with the 5.45 hubbub. When everything went unavailable in the 5.45 world, they figured they'd dip their toe back in and see what the public thought of it. So they put those out there, the 500. They sold out immediately, and they must have thought, hey, that's pretty good, because guess what? Gen 2 is coming in 5.45. So, and regular production run from what I understand. Now, the guns that hit first are the 7.62s, the 223s. They build them in Israel. So the 5.45 guns will be coming over pretty quick. They're behind the other ones, but what are the big changes? What's Gen 2? I'll just random. There's a different trigger. There's kind of a two-stage trigger, two-stage like sniper trigger, I think they call it. The fore end is M-lock instead of the quad rail. And it meets up nicely. It's dovetailed in. Just a much nicer handguard. Tons of space to attach things. QD points, which is big. So you got all kinds of stuff there. Available in rifle or pistol. And instead of 2 barrels, it's now available in 3 barrel lengths. So that's kind of cool. You've got 16-inch rifle, 8-inch on the pistol, and there's also a 13-inch. So that's kind of cool, right? And normally, I don't know. I'm at a toss-up between which I would buy, the rifle or the pistol. But if I was going to buy 7.62, I'd probably buy the pistol for 2 reasons. They made a few other changes. Number one, unlike 5.56, 2.23, where you're losing so much velocity going down to an 8-inch pistol that the round's damn near ineffective because you're not approaching the fragmentation range of that. You're losing so much velocity. You're probably, you need 2,700 or so feet per second, 2,500 maybe on the edge for that bullet to fragment. So the 8-inch is just not that effective, especially put at any distance. Where the 7.62, you get the bigger bullet, a much lower powder charge, so it's burnt. You're burning almost all of it in 8 inches. Yeah, you're losing a little, but nowhere near what the 5.56 is losing. So it's still effective, right? Plus, here's the big thing going on about braces. Let's say we lost braces. Well, used to be you had this funky proprietary setup that the Galils had for a stock, and it wasn't quite an M4 stock. There wasn't a buffer tube. So if you wanted to SBR the pistol, you had to get your hands on the stock and have somebody fit the whole apparatus to it. Or there's a lot of secondary market stuff you could put on it. But the new one now comes with an M4 buffer tube, foldable. So you can go from the brace that it comes with to a stock with bing bings switched up, and now you can SBR it. Let's say braces go away. SBR it, you're all good to go without any dicking around. So that makes it effective. Now, 5.56, 5.45, I'd probably go rifle or the 13-inch barrel, and you'll be good, because, like 10 and a half is like the bare minimum for 5.56 to even get close to the realm as far as feet per second for that bullet to fragment. So at 13 and a half, you'll be good. And 5.45 is kind of interesting. Now, is 5.45 going to stay as popular? Well, they've tried it over the years. It's waxed and waned up and down in popularity. When 7.6 went away, it really kind of dropped in popularity because that cheap surplus ammo wasn't available anymore. But that being said, it's still pretty cheap. Not surplus, but Russian stuff, whatever, Wolf, this and that, it's all available. And frankly, I've seen it cheaper than 7.6 too. So, and as far tactically, as far as a defensive weapon and whatnot, 5.45 is an awesome caliber, guys, because you got no recoil out of it. It's like a 5.56. So super soft shooting out of a super nice gun, built as good as some of the boutique guns out there. So if you don't have a 5.45, which I don't, I never got into them, it may be the right one to add. I don't know value-wise, collectability down the road. Obviously, the Gen 1 Galil is probably going to be pretty damn collectible with only 500 of them out there. But if you want a 5.45 to shoot, hey, why not? It's a factory imported gun. Not an AK, certainly in the family. Did you guys know what weapon the Galil was essentially made from or modeled after originally? A lot of you guys think, well, of course, the AK. Well, no, it wasn't. So after the 6-Day War, when they figured out their FNs in the sand sucked and they wouldn't run, they figured they needed a new weapon platform to be their own, right? FN was imported. Yes, they did build some of the Jewish hammers that we like to call them, but what did they call them? Yiddish hammers or something like that. I forget what they call them, but anyhow, it was imported. They needed to build their own gun there that they could rely on, have a constant source for their troops. So they were going to develop a weapon. Well, it was developed directly from the Valmet. Actually, early ones were built on Valmet receivers. So it has a lot more heritage on the Valmet side than it does the AK side. Now, the Valmet was, again, a version or their attempt at an AK, right? So, yes, it's in the family. I consider it in the family. But IWI, they just build such nice stuff, like my Tavor, my X95. God, what a gun. The more I mess with that gun, the more I like it. It's just really, really, really nice. Built really well, works well, finished well, thought out well. Just good stuff. So, like I said, the 7.62 should be in the shops, if not any day, along with the 5.56 and the 5.45 Galil Ace will be right behind it. Gen 2, M-Lock, different trigger, different stock, and another barrel length available, coming out in 5.45. I'm trying to think what else they added to it. I don't know. The other thing with the pistol too, you're like a pound or two lighter. So that's really a badass little weapon, especially in 7.62. So I'm looking forward to that. As soon as I can get my hands on one. Hebrew Hammer, that was it. As soon as I can get my hands on one of these Gen 2 Galils, Ace Galils, I will bring that to you. Also, it's interesting to think about that gun in 5.56. And you say, God, Chris, what's with you and 5.56 AKs lately? Well, ammo availability. It's worrying me that the import ammo could go away pretty damn quick with the stroke of a pen. And 5.56 America's caliber, it's always going to be around. So we got plenty of 7.62 guns. Why not the 5.56? It's a great round, accurate, everything. Speaking of that, I've shot aces, and they are really, really accurate guns. So, hey, it may be. I haven't decided what caliber I'm going to do or what arrangement I'm going to do, but it'll be coming. We'll test it, and hey, why not? Maybe 5.45, maybe 5.56. If I did a pistol, probably 7.62. We'll see. I don't know. I'm torn. If I could do two, it'd be great. I'd have my decision made, but I don't know. So that's the new stuff on the forefront there that's coming out. We're going to talk prices too, real quick here, and the market for AKs and what's going on there. It's that simple, just absurdity. I mean, it's insane what's going on. I guess if you're selling, it's a good market. You're making a lot of money. But if you're like me and you hang on to what you have, well, it's another story, right? So anyhow, let's get into the chat here and see what everybody's got to say real quick. Say hi to everyone, and then we'll get into the pricing and the market, the AK market, and what's going on. So we already said Joe Morgan's in the house. Trusting God First is in the house. Chase Kelly is here as usual. David Martin, howdy from South Dakota. Good to have you. God, you are one lucky man. I hope you're still in the stream, because South Dakota, what a great state. First of all, even if it wasn't for your governor, I would love that state. I spent many in August there, about 10 days every August for Sturgis. I would go out, and while I can't say all that much for the eastern side of the state, it's pretty boring, right, as far as scenery goes. When you get to the western end of that state, it is nothing short of gorgeous. The Black Hills, the Badlands, so much to see. Wall Drug, Needles, Custer State Park. You can venture into Wyoming and go see Devil's Tower and head up to Yellowstone and Spearfish Canyon and Deadwood. Deadwood is my favorite town. I love hanging in that town. I love going to the Silverado Saloon, pull up on the Harley and go in and gamble a little, make a little money, come out, go ride for the day, come back, have a nice steak dinner. What's it called there? T-Bones. There's a big steakhouse on the corner with great, good-looking bartenders and everything. Just a ton of fun. And great state. You can see the buffalo and antelope. I've almost got run over by a herd of antelope. Came over a thing next to me, literally jumped over the front of my motorcycle at a full run. Unbelievable. I've been eye to eye with a buffalo this big, staring right at you from feet away. You're like, oh, man. Anyhow, cool state. And then you throw that girl in, that's your governor. And man, what that woman, she should run for president. She really should. She's tough. She's right on target with all her thoughts. She's great looking. Man, oh man, what a looker, huh? And she can ride a horse. She hunts. She does it all. Just a really well-rounded girl. And God bless her. She's really done well for your state and your people. And I hope it stays that way. And I hope she gets into the national arena a bit. I think she will. I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow, she's definitely pro-gun, and that's a good thing. Great state. So glad to have you here from South Dakota. Dandy Dude 2010, I want a Gen 1 5.56. The Gen 1's a great gun, and that brings up a good point on that Galil. If you're looking at it from the standpoint of, what's going to be collectible? I don't know. I thought the same thing. Maybe it's, I don't mind the quad rail, and I don't mind the looks of it, and something about it's the Gen 1, right? Although if it was a Gen 1, I'd probably buy it in 7.62. I don't know. I'd love to have one of those 500 that came in 5.45, because that's a collectible gun, really is. Only 500 of them here. I remember when they came in, I probably could have snagged one, and I didn't. But yeah, what are you going to do? When I first, here's a funny story. When I first got into AKs, I was down in Florida at a little shop with my dad, and they had a couple AKs on the rack. One of them was an IO, right? I knew a little bit about it. I owned a couple. I had my Yugo, I had a Wasser, and I just wanted another one. I wanted my Yugo was an underfolder. I wanted a fixed stock something. I didn't know what. Didn't really know what was out there, and I told him, I said, I want an upscale, really nice, nicely finished AK. And he said, well, first thing comes to mind is, you're going to have to spend some money and go get one of those either Galil Aces or, there's some boutique manufacturers, but I'd stay away from them. This guy's kind of a FUD, right? Just a little shop and doesn't know squat. He's just talking the little bit he knows. So Ace kind of stuck in my head, right? And I stopped in a store up north later that year, and I was talking the same thing. And this one guy, I think he was a friend of the shop or just a good customer. He says, you know what you need to do? He goes, you want to look at something, and he rattled off a couple names. He goes, and what they do is and it was probably, I think it was Krebs and like Rifle Dynamics or somebody like that. And he said, what they do is they cut them down shorter, just a couple inches, and they move the front sight back to the gas block, and it shortens it up. They pin and weld the brake, and it's nice, and they refinish them, and they're these great rifles. But you're going to pay some money, boy. I'm saving up for one, but that's the way you want to go. The rifle handles better, all this other stuff, right? And I'm like, So I did a little look in, and Krebs popped in my head. And I'm at a gun show one day, and I see this Krebs rifle on a table, and I go, you got to be kidding me. And I knew nothing else but the name Krebs. And I thought, was that who he was talking about? And there's this rifle there. And at the time, prices weren't what they are now. But this rifle was $1,300 they had marked on it. And I thought, man, that's a lot of money. At the time, you could buy a Wasser for under $500, and stuff just wasn't like it was now. And this was built on an Arsenal SLR 107 FR. So today, just the FR, imagine what it's worth. Now do the Krebification to it. Now what's it worth? So $1,300 with a Circle 10 mag. And I thought, man, that's a lot of money. But according to that guy and what he told me, that sounds kind of cheap. I told the guy, I'll take it. And thank God I did. That's my Krebs rifle, and what a steal that ended up being. But that's how I got around to those nicer rifles, and the Ace came into view and all of that, and just kind of cool. So anyhow, just a quick story there. So let's see what we got here. So Dandy Dude, he wants a Gen 1 Galil Ace. Yasin Anwar, Scorpion Evo, worth it? Absolutely. If you haven't watched my channel, go check out my videos on Scorpions, and you'll quickly find that it is one of my favorite guns. It's certainly the most fun to shoot of anything I own. You put me at the range with my Scorpions and a couple thousand rounds of 9, and it'll be dark when I'm walking off the range because it's that much fun. Drum mags, 32 round mags. I've got a regular S1 pistol with the factory cheek piece, and then a Gearhead Works brace on it. Folds and everything, all tricked out with HBI stuff and HBI trigger. I run Hullison 510Cs on them. Just a great gun. Then I've got the S2, which is the micro, the K model. So I've got the faux silencer on it and the folding PDW brace on it, the extendable one, not folding. And that was the one that they did for that big interdiction team. And then everybody loved it so much they kept building them. They still build the micro, but it doesn't come with the fake can anymore, which is kind of a shame. It's cool. And it comes with the HBI handguard and all. I love that little gun. God, that's going to be the first silencer I get, and I'd like to think it fits the right under that HBI handguard, because that faux silencer is made by the actual company that makes the silencer, so it should. But I've heard issues that it's real tight. But I want it to go right under. It'll be really cool. And yeah, so if you say, is it worth it? Absolutely. We've got a couple other little sub guns like the Ruger, the Ruger 9. I've got one of those, the pistol, and nice. We finally shot it. Nice little gun. I'll have a video coming out for you on that. I've shot the B&Ts, a bunch of them. I like the Scorpion the best. The great thing about the Scorpion is there's huge aftermarket support on it. It runs well. It's just a cool gun all the way around. When you pull that thing out, people look. They like it. It's just cool. So yeah, by all means, grab yourself one. Speaking of that, local Farm and Fleet had one, still has one in the case, $985, ready to go. Not too bad, considering, what prices are doing. I almost did, but I need a third one like I need a hole in my head, right? Let's see. Joe Morgan, Galilla's nice. Kong, my buddy, loves his Jew rifle. It's older. It's not an ace. Okay. Yeah, the old ones are cool with the wood stocks and all. I'd like to have one. Hey, Mr. C. Hey, if there was an AK import ban, what would you buy? 2 Zastava AKs for $1,000 each, or an Arsenal Sam 7 for $2K? God, I guess if it's just you, that's such a tough call, man. God, if you're looking outfit you and another family member, well, yeah, that's an easy call. You need 2 rifles, get it. Or one Sam. I wouldn't get the Sam if it was the fixed stock. I don't care. It's a great rifle, but I like my side folder so much better. It just feels different. I just like it a lot better. Which would I do? God, I don't know. I'll say this: the Yugo rifle is just as reliable as the Arsenal. If you were buying one rifle, I'd probably say, because of the dollars involved, that you just buy the Yugo. It's for $1,000. It's all the gun the Sam is. It'll last just as long with the thicker receiver and all of that. They run, when they break in, they run just as smooth, in my opinion. I've got one that's so smooth, it's ridiculous, my Yugo. But I'm not knocking the Sam. I'm just saying, for the money, yeah. But I guess if I wanted one, I don't know. God, I don't know, because I love Yugos. You're asking the wrong guy. I want them both. I got to have both in my book. I don't know. So instead of, if I was going to buy the Sam for 2, I'd save another $1,000 and buy the Yugo and the Sam. How's that sound? One of each. I don't know. Let's see. Petya Petov is in the house. Did I say that right? I hope I didn't screw it up. Got a Ruski boy in the house. That's good to have. HBear720. Love the videos on your channel, brother. Keep it up. Well, thank you. Vanessa Kitty's here. That's awesome. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate it. Appreciate the love and showing up. Mad Ant 77. Hey, Chris, how would you compare a theoretical ZPAP underfolder to your venerable AB2? First of all, you guys have heard me say those Century AB2s were great builds. They were put together by people that knew what they were doing. They ain't typical Century junk. They're just not. They're really well put together. That being said, there's nothing better than a factory-built, Arsenal-built gun. There just isn't. So which would I rather have? I'd rather have, although mine has some sentimental value to it because my wife bought it and I've shot it so much. I've got so many rounds under it. it's kind of I think when people think me, they think of me holding that rifle because I shoot it so much and there's a lot of videos on it. But I would take the ZPAP underfolder. Definitely would. It's built by them, right? And they're that good. And they should build one. The last new guns underfolders from Zastava were NPAPs. And frankly, they were the last ones when NPAPs were going away and there weren't any more in the stores. The last place I saw a brand new one for sale was at a Fleet Farm. They had one underfolder left and they were blowing it out. And I mean, blowing it out. You used to be able to get an NPAP new $500-600 not too long ago, 2 years ago. And this one they wanted like $450 or something. And I thought, God, I should buy it. And then I thought, what do I want an NPAP for? I've got this and that and all these other ones. So I didn't do it. I kind of wish I had, but what's the difference? I would consider that, when people say ZPAP, in my head, I go OPAP, because OPAP was always the gun to have. And, but yeah, a ZPAP underfolder with a chrome line barrel and all the other good stuff they have now. Hell yeah. That's a gun I do. I hope they come out with one, because you will see this boy grab one in a second. That's mostly the gun they built and exported. People like to, here's a little thing for you. I had another guy comment on one of my videos about Yugo guns. He said, regular guy, whoever that is, I don't know who regular guy is. He's a YouTube content provider, a gun tuber. I've run across a video or two, but I can't picture him or anything. And this is no shot against him. It's just this guy commented that regular guy, like this guy's his hero or something, commented that Yugo receivers are cardboard. They're junk, and they oval out the pinholes, and they this and they that. And Las Vegas machine gun, Las Vegas, whatever it is, they failed on them and all this. And I said, well, I don't know who regular guy is, and I don't know who this other guy you're talking about is, but they're grossly mistaken. I'm not saying that stuff didn't happen. Here's the real deal. And it comes from a lot of people, but I'll tell you, Misha from Misha Co., he had the straight scoop on it, and I trust him when it comes to AK information and history more than anybody else. I know nothing compared to this guy. And he'll tell you, yes, the Yugos, which were NPAPs, I believe, NPAPs, were they failed prematurely at Machine Gun Las Vegas, whatever it's called. Yes, they did, but they never said at what round count. Did they fail at 20,000 rounds, 30, 40, 50, 60? I don't know. They made it sound like, yeah, they failed prematurely compared to some of their other stuff. But let's think about that. The NPAP was not developed as a military weapon, right? It was a commercial weapon, where the Wasser is a military weapon. A lot of the arsenals are military weapons, all this other stuff. They did have a little problem, I guess, with the receivers, whatever. But who knows where it failed, what it did. And he was bitching at me that, well, you're just a sample of one, and you're just the internet guy saying, well, my gun runs, Well, I'm not saying that. I'm telling you, I got 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 rounds through that NPAP, and it ain't breaking, and it ain't broke, and I had fully intended to go much longer. Number two, were the pinholes egging out? Well, genius. Those were on Century guns. Century and even the AB2s, some of them. They didn't have the original Yugo pins. They had smaller, undersized pins, or they were drilled wrong. I think it was undersized pins. It was undersized pins. And after a lot of wear, they would start egging out in the hole. Well, the solution was real quick. Get yourself a set of pins from Apex or one of those joints online for $2. Put them in, and the problem was solved. That was so long ago. They're talking about stuff before most of you guys were even into AKs. This is ancient history. Everybody's known about it, and it's been handled, and it's long gone and over with. So regular guy knows that, well, you don't know shit. there's not a problem with them. So anyhow, how did I get on that? I don't know. But yeah, so they were NPAPs. Now, throw a new ZPAP out there or an OPAP or a real military gun, and who knows what they would have done. I mean, the 1mm receiver, the Yugoslavians tried that gun. The original gun was a milled gun, the Yugo M70s. It was 63, actually. But when that got too costly, expensive, and time-consuming, they went to a stamp gun. And the original one was a 1mm receiver. Well, they had problems with the 1mm receiver. Yugo people like to fire grenades for whatever reason. And they were cracking receivers. So they, in 1 year's time, they got rid of essentially what is an NPAP and turned to a 1.5 in the bulge trunnions. So yeah, they realized that in military conditions, running full auto by people that are renting them and burning the shit out of them with mag dumps, that it wasn't going to last. Of course, you know that. So what's the big deal? But an NPAP, for what the average guy here, or even what I shoot, you ain't burning that gun up. I'm telling you right now, I got 8,000 rounds. I'll take the microscopic up close pictures. The gun is like brand new. And it's not just one. I've had multiple Yugo guns. Everything from Century Builds, NPAPs, OPAPs, now ZPAPs. The Model T built by Century, which was the single, the 1mm receiver. I even have one of those. And none of them have failed, not one. Between them all, I don't even know how many rounds. I wouldn't want to guess. I know it's over or approaching somewhere between 25 and 35,000 rounds. Think about that, guys. Think about that. Think about the money. Holy Christ. Granted, all those rounds were put through it when ammo was $160 1,000, so it was no big deal, and that's over 10 years time or more. So yeah, I speak from true experience when I talk about Yugo guns. It's the one I really know Yugo guns. I mean, personally from shooting them. So anyway, ZPAP underfolder, hell yeah, man. That's where I was going. The underfolder is what Zastava has exported more of than just about any rifle in the world. The M70 is battle proven by multiple countries in multiple wars, more than any other AK out there, even more than the Russian, I'd venture to guess. But the only one that might beat it is the Chinese. But it's been in more confrontations, and there's more of them out there imported to God knows how many countries, and the majority of them are underfolders. So just that's what I was getting to. Anyhow, so that's that. There's my rant on that other crap. Let's see. I agree on side folding stock. It's nice, but mine was actually an old Tapco metal skeleton eyes. Very okay. Mishiko has always been really nice to me, even as blind guy. He always answers me, and it's nice to ask someone. Misha's an awesome dude. He really is. And great channel. Love his channel. Honky Biscuit. What's up, Honky Biscuit? What's up, brother? Nothing, man. How about you? Just having a relaxing evening, talking about our favorite subject. And we talk about other stuff, too. So if you don't like AKs, hang out. We talk about other stuff. Like the Scorpion. I love the Scorpion. Little coffee tonight. We usually tell you what kind of coffee I'm drinking, and my daughter's home from college, so she brings me coffee from this place in Michigan that I love, and it's Michigan cherry coffee. And man, when I tell you can smell the cherry and all, this isn't it. This is good old. And if you live in Wisconsin, you know what Quick Trip is. It's a gas station. I shouldn't say gas station. It's damn near like a grocery mart, but they have hazelnut coffee that's really good. So that's what we're doing tonight. Anyhow, Mateo made it. What's up, man? Sorry about the late whatever, as usual, I'm late. Man, I ain't laugh out loud. Tito and his rifle grenades. Yeah, right? And imagine that. They must have been shooting them things. Grenades everywhere. You ever shot one? Anybody ever loaded up with the spigot and shot any of the dummy grenades? It's fun. You can get those things going like 150 yards. with the blank firing adapter and everything. Mateo finally got my Savage 1917 32 ACP, cleaned it up, and it's cherry. All the pitting came off of the barrel. Awesome. Honky Biscuit. This is Jake, by the way. Jake, my Jake. Say yes. Holy cow, Jake's in the house. Honky Biscuit. That's friggin' hilarious, dude. How'd you come up with that? I'm telling you guys, you got to urge this guy to do his channel. You want to talk about funny? Let's do something this weekend. We'll do a funny video. We got stuff planned where we get in ghillie suits, and it's going to be like a competition. It's going to be funny. Hey, don't forget, guys, we got super chats going. So if you want to help support the channel, you can do that. Those are going tonight. We would greatly appreciate it. Let's see who else is in here. I'll let Joe and Mateo talk. Yeah, it's Jake. He's in there. So if you guys haven't seen Jake in a couple of my videos, he's awesome. We do a lot of shooting out at his place. He's got the greatest place ever to shoot. I shot a dummy grenade on a Yugo SKS years ago. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, they are. They're a blast. Anyhow, we were going to talk about the state of the AK market is the next thing we're going to touch on. You guys keep chatting away. That's what's fun about this channel, is going into the chat. But state of the AK market. So when you've got ZPAPs listing at, and they may have raised them now, but they were originally, what, $8.99? I think they bumped them up to right around 1,000. But you're going to find the average ZPAP running about 1,200 right now. So even at 1,200, when you compare arsenals that are going anywhere from 1,800 for the milled guns up to 2,500 and up. I've seen some stuff, guys. AK Operators Union reported that he saw a Kalashnikov USA gun. Now that's a USA made gun. Granted, a nice gun. Go for over $3,000 on Gunbroker. What are these people thinking? What are they smoking? Holy cow. 3,500. Guys, that could have bought you an original Russian Type 2 or something. I mean, not too long ago. That's insane. Here, not too long ago, just so you guys know, not too long ago, you could buy a stamped arsenal for $7.99, fixed stock, whatever. The folder, maybe $8.99. The milled guns were up in the vicinity of, I think the fixed stock milled guns were just around 1,000, and the folders were 1,200. Now you can't touch anything for under 1,800, and that's a good deal, right? But these guys are paying crazy money. And some of the shops are asking it and getting it. Guys, relax. They're not going anywhere just yet. And to pay those prices, if you're thinking that, man, I got to get one and I'm going to pay $2,000 or $2,500, $3,000, guys, don't do it. Don't kill yourself. Look on the secondary market. Look around. You'll find something. Wassers going over $2,000. Are you kidding me? When they went to $7.99, I thought, what's going on with this world? I will say, in today's market, I'd buy a Wasser at $7.99. No problem. That's your entry-level AK today, right? And frankly, I probably want another Wasser because mine's terrible, and I want a good example of it. But holy cow, that's just insane. Meanwhile, the other stuff, the ammos went up. Jake knows I used to pay 160. When it dropped under 200, 1,000 for the ammo, like 2 years ago, I was like, wow, man, under 200. Really started stocking it, right? And then it went to 189, and then 179, and then 169, and just loaded up. Compared to everything else out there, you can still get a case of 7.62 for $350 if you look. And that's not bad considering the cheapest AR ammo I'm finding is like between $600 and $700, $1,000. So I wouldn't be spending the money right now on guns. I'd be spending it on what you can still get at relatively, and the term relatively really applies here, relatively inexpensive prices. I'd go for the ammo. I'd go for mags. Mags are still cheap. Mag pulls for $15 I got the other day. Not the steel lip, but they're fine. I've never broken one. Would I like the steel lip ones better? Yeah, sure. No problem. But the other ones I've never broken either. You can still get Circle 10s for about $45. Yeah, they're expensive, but they're the best mags going. Steels are still cheap. Bakes are they're at $100. I said last week when they went to 45, I said I'm out. I should have bought a ton at 45 now, but I'd pay 60 for one now. But 100, nah, keep them. They ain't worth it. They ain't worth it. You need a couple of them, and that's it, just to look cool in a gun for pictures or whatever. But there's tons of stuff out there, mags that are still. What's the other one? The company that made the grips, and then somebody bought them out. Those you can buy for $15, $18 too. Those are decent mags. There's a lot. There's Serbian mags out there. A lot of stuff. Mags are cheap. AK mags, AR mags, still $10, $11. That hasn't hit for whatever reason. So I'd get out there. I'd be buying those. Accessories are expensive, and the shitbags that are buying stuff and doubling the price and putting it on Gunbroker, yeah, they suck. All the RS Regulate mounts and everything, that stuff's all expensive. It's getting a little easier to find optics. I also will report, this goes along, it's not AK, but it's kind of along the same lines of market report. Fleet Farm, which I haven't seen 9 at really, is back. They had 3 different kinds. I bought 100 round boxes for $33, Winchester white box or Federal, 115 grain or 124 grain. So considering what's going on, that wasn't bad. And they had the most I've seen, 45, 40, 9, 22, 5.56, a few choices in 12 gauge, bunch of ammo, and the guns are back. The guns are back. They got plenty of ARs. They had a Scorpion, all kinds of pistols, even Glocks, SIGs, Walthers, CZs, you name it. It's coming back, and the ammo is back. And some of it's starting to sit a little bit, just a tiny bit. Like the guy told me, you can buy a 2-box limit, and the 7.62 was lasting a long time for them. He said, he goes, I can't believe it. Somebody's not just buying it all up, coming back day after day. So they're starting to build. I think we may see it come back quicker than everybody thought. Will prices settle down? Somewhat, probably. A little bit, maybe. We'll see. But it's certainly good news. It's nice to see it coming back. I don't know if I told you or not, but I was in Dunham's. You guys probably have Dunham's where you are. I was shocked. I walked in, I turned the corner, and there were metal ammo cans of 5.56, 700 rounds, 800 rounds of 5.56. 4 or 5 of them there available, and nobody there grabbing and fighting each other for it. 150 round boxes, 200 round boxes, 308, 30-06, everything. They had everything. Tons of 5.56, no problem. Now, it was expensive there. They've upped their prices more than what the distributor upped them. So, so some places are going to be pricey, I guess. Some aren't. When it starts sitting, the prices will start stabilizing, and then they'll get normal. Anyhow, so that's what I've seen. I just happened to take a look on Gunbroker, and I typed in the word Krebs. Holy moly. Either my stuff's worth an absolute goddamn fortune, or these people are just insane and they're trying to market on. There's one guy on there, $7,600 for a Krebs rifle, $3,800. A lot of them in that $3 to $4 grand range. I love Mark. He builds a beautiful rifle, but I'll just go buy one of his new ones he's making. I mean, why would I pay double for a Vepper on a slant back receiver with the adapter. Why would I do that? I'll just get one of whatever he's building on whatever platform right now. Just as good a gun. And it's still done by Krebs. And he doesn't charge anywhere near those prices. I think they're just trying people on for size. There were no bids. There were one or two that were run up that were really nice guns that he made that you can't get anymore. But, not bad. Let's get back to the comments here because I see a lot going on over here. Let's see. Mateo, I don't have a camera on the computer. Okay. I used to like John back when I drank coffee. This is from a place called Sewell's. It's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And it's a coffee place, and they got great coffee. If you're anywhere near Grand Rapids, find Sewell's Coffee and stop in. At Christmas, they got this one. It's called the Nutcracker, I think. Really good coffee. So my daughter brings it to me as a gift. I love it when she comes home. I'm like, what'd you bring me? What'd you bring me? Where's my coffee? So I get it all the time. That's the one you saw walk past here a second ago. Maybe she'll pop her head out here. I don't know if I should introduce my daughter, though, to a bunch of guys like you. I don't know. What do you think, Jake? Probably not, huh? Nah, you guys are good. Let's see. Mateo, I noticed some of the prices have dropped ever so slightly. Yeah, a little bit, and it's around. So KVAR has the Z-Pap Black Poly for $9.89. That's a good deal because they sell their wood. You can buy their wood separate right off the Zastava site, either the maple or the whatchamacallit, the walnut. Or you can do your thing. Check out El Tenda's channel. El Tenda Fabrizio, my buddy over there. He did up a Z-Pap tactically that is to die for. Really, really a cool rifle. So maybe that'd be a good candidate for it. Check it out. Yes, guys, real men can still smoke on TV or YouTube, right? Hey, it's the only bad habit I got. Leave me alone. Anyhow, let's see here. Price have dropped a little bit. KVAR's got the Z-Pap 9. That's a good deal. Yeah, Mateo, that's the best deal going right now. Think about it. $9.89 for a 1.5-inch receiver, heavy barrel, cold hammer forge, chrome line barrel, bulged trunnions, all the good stuff. Last you forever for under $1,000. Great deal. Go buy it. Yeah, Mateo, I even traded brass for loaded rounds today. Shop it. Wow, good deal. I got a bunch of brass of stuff I don't shoot either. I got anybody need 40? Want to trade for anything but 40? I got a bunch of 40 I can trade. Maybe some 300 blackout too that I don't have. Maybe I got to try that. I don't know. I need a Z-Pap, but I have M85 NP and an M92 PAP. Love that M92. I got to shoot it with Zastava. Fun gun. It was, and I saw the coolest custom one there, man. Guy had coated it like gray and all the black stuff on it. Man, it looked good. Looked good. Ex-Chicago police officer had that gun. Really nice. Hopefully an RPK Z-Pap. Yeah, if that came out, I'd buy one in a heartbeat because to go with my Romanians, I would love to see an RPK Z-Pap come out. That would be awesome. What do you guys think of RPKs? Any of you guys got any? I've got a couple. I've got the AES 10B, which is a great gun. They came out years ago, and they were like 100 or two more in the Wasser. You could buy them for $500, $600, $700. They went away. And then right before they came out, I snagged one locally on the secondary market. Unfired, just nice gun. Had the typical beat up wood and all. I finished it real nice. Check out the video on me refinishing the stock on it. And then Arms of America came around with these kits that I just went head over heels for. They had Romanian RPK kits called paratroopers, side folding stock, and dong handguards. And the dong's not the regular dong. It was made specifically for the RPK. rarer than, I don't know, rarer than whatever. Rarer than nuts on an AR guy. How's that sound? Oh, did I say that? No, I didn't say that. I'm just teasing, guys. But yeah, the dong on there, those dongs are so rare. They were going, I saw guys getting 500 to 700 just for the dong. Anyways, you could buy the kit. I had Two Rivers Arms put it together. There's not a lot in the country. Every single side folding paratrooper RPK, the trunnions are marked 1989. They were all made in 1 year. They all came in one batch. He has a couple kits left. You might be able to grab one. But it's a really rare gun, and it's super cool. So I got the fixed stock and the folder, both with the cool adjustable leg RPKs. Gorgeous wood. By the way, those paratrooper ones, unfired, brand new guns right out of the arsenal. They demilled them, sent them over. I had it built. It's gorgeous. Check out my videos on it. We're gonna break those out and do some shooting videos on those just to revisit them. Like a lot of you guys, you're getting into AKs and you think, well, I got to get a carbine, rifle, and I want the pistol and all this. And who wants that giant RPK stuff, right? They're so big. And what am I going to do with it? Well, once you've scratched that itch of the other guns, start looking for an RPK because they're so cool. I even did a video where I put a scope on mine just to see if I could get any accuracy out of it. So check it out. And we got to do a little more on that. The AST-10B came with a side mount, but the original paratrooper and the original guns did not. So it's nice to have the AS-10B to throw a scope on and do stuff like that. Although I could, there's a couple other solutions I could, but we put a 1x6 on it. It was kind of cool. A lot of fun. So yeah, don't miss the RPKs. Check them out. They're a lot of fun. But Yugo, I don't have a Yugo RPK, and I sure would like to have one. That finned barrel is just cooler than hell. Let's see. Atlantic has Cougar, whatever. Did it come out of the factory? Because there were some paratrooper guns came out, little thinner barrel profile, I believe. And from all accounts, decent gun. But Atlantic builds a lot of their guns, all the battle worn looks and all that stuff they do. They're building those out of kits, and they're well put together. I'm not knocking them. They're just not arsenal guns. So know what you're buying. They have a team or a factory or a manufacturing place where they make a lot of their AKs on there. So it's kind of cool. When they can't get other stuff, they got those to sell. And they do make some beautiful stuff. So all kinds of different stuff. So I don't know if that paratrooper is the Romanian one or if it's put together by Atlantic. So I'll have to run over there and take a look. I get over there from time to time, but when I get over there, they don't seem to have anything I want. Let's see. Yeah, Joe's taking advantage of the mag prices right now. They're really down. And all we need is a little news, guys, and those things are going to go through the roof and get scarce. So grab some up while you can. CS Spec, yes, great mags, man. I've got his mags for the Vepr. And, God, built like a brick shit house. They are unbelievable. Joe's talking to Honky Biscuit. This could be trouble. Yeah, I got a feeling you and Honky Biscuit would get along really good in real life, out in the wild, so to speak. You two would be up the same alley, let me tell you. Anyone started to collect lead? That's a good point, Jake. Let's talk about that for a minute. So listen to this. This is a really cool story. I think you guys will find it very interesting. So a lot of you guys know I reload, and I started out reloading when me and Jake got 308s, and we thought we were snipers, and I was going to load these awesome rounds, and we didn't have to pay for the federal gold match grade ammo, right? So I developed a load, 168 grain for our 308s, and we could shoot the asshole out of a gnat, right? And they were really running good. And then I got into other stuff, and I stockpiled it. And thank God, when all this ammo stuff came down, I thought ahead enough to put away a bunch of primers and all kinds of stuff. So I got plenty, right? And I started reloading just about anything. I never reloaded 7.62 because steel case, it wasn't worth it. But now I saved some brass from some rounds I got somewhere. I don't remember where, but not a lot of it, but enough to where I can really try to do see how accurate these guns really are. So maybe I will do that with that. But I always saved brass. Whenever I went to the range, Jake will tell you at his house, I'd put down a tarp to save my 45 brass and stuff like that. I just hate to see brass laying on the ground thinking, man, look at that, especially when prices now, thank God I saved it all. Jake would always give me his brass when his buddies would come over for a party and they'd all be shooting, he'd save it. And I always scoop it up. I got coffee cans full, drums full, and thank God. But that being said, I'm at my club, the range I shoot at. You see in all the videos. Jake's a member there too. And he knows the back berms of all of them. A lot are dirt, a couple are sand, but and there's some rock in it, but very little, but mostly sand and dirt. They had pushed the berms all up after the winter and kind of just reformed them a little bit. They're hillsides essentially, and they keep falling and they push them back once a year. But they're really high. They're probably 3-4 stories high. And it had rained really hard. And I went down, I put my steel plates out and all my stuff, and I'm shooting, and I go to check a target. And I look, and the rain had washed it all away, and there's bullets laying all over the ground. Where normally you'd have to dig a little bit to get them, they were right there, all exposed. And I just started one handful, and I weighed it when I got home. One handful, I had like, I don't know, 13, 14 ounces of lead in my hand. I put it in a bag. Here's the amazing thing. Normally, you find range bullets and they're all squashed, splattered, smashed, this, that, the other. These things were perfect, other than the rifling cut into them. I mean, perfect. So perfect that I'm bored, right? I'm an old guy. I'm bored at night. I go out to the garage. I wash them off. I wipe them down. I'm looking at them. These are full metal jackets. Everything from 45, 40, 9, 38, some 223, although the 223s were all flattened. And even a bigger, like 30-06 or 308, big bullet, perfect. Even that long, pointy bullet, I put them on my wheel. I polished them. I can reload these things. They're so perfect. How does that happen? Even in sand, guys, you usually see deformation, something. These bullets are that perfect. And even 00 buck, I found a bunch of 00 buck copper plated, really nice, all full metal jacket I'm talking here, but tons of it, tons. So forget about if it's perfect and I can reload it. I'm not going to reload it, but to collect it, because think about your sources of lead right now. First of all, Obama shut down all the lead smelting plants in the U.S. There are no more, zero, none. Shut down the last one in whatever, I forget what year, but they're gone. All our lead comes from overseas. Used to be, well, wheel weights were everywhere. My family was in this for service station business. We had buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of lead. I wish I had it today. It's all gone. I don't know what happened to it. Yeah, I could take apart car batteries, sure, but they give you core charges, so even those are hard to get. And then you got to deal with the acid and all the other crap. So where do you get lead other than maybe getting it at your local range if they'll let you, right? Which most of them will reclaim. They have companies. I know my trap club has a company come out every 5 years or so, and they dredge our little lake pond, whatever, and they reclaim it and sell it back to us. And they make a lot of money on it. So it's big money. A lot of clubs or ranges will sell it. So it's hard to get. So I thought, man, maybe me and you need to make a trip, Jake, and get a whole bunch of stuff. It'd be nice just to have and melt down into bars. And I see it. My reloading is like therapy. I go out to the garage and I just reload. It's therapy time. It's quiet time, doing what I like to do and just forget about the day kind of thing. So anyhow, that's Jake. That's a negative Ghost Rider. Hunky biscuit traded 4538 special cases for 1832 flat nose round. That's nobody needs that caliber but you. Oh well, I converted it. It's just a barrel for mags. There are two choices. CS spec. Yeah, nice stuff. I used to work up in Michigan when I did new construction commercial plumbing. I didn't know you were a plumber. Boy, I could use you. Let's see. Texas Hog Killer. He's out hammering hogs. I've been looking for a pre-ban IMI Galil for a long time. Yeah, neat guns, right? Really neat. Like to have one. What do you think of the VR82? Will it be California compliant? You know, they make so many of them damn guns now, I don't even know which one the 82 is. I got the VR80, which I love. What a great shotgun. I don't know if it'll be California compliant. Is that the one that looks more like a standard, A2 rifle kind of? I don't know. But I can tell you this, if it's the Rock Island imports, they're great guns. Let's see, $2K for an Arsenal Sam 7F. Pricey, but a great gun. Yeah, that hen's teeth. That's what I meant. You can turn any Romy into a folding stock. Yes, you can. But you can't turn the RPK into one. Telling me my connection isn't good. I hope I'm not lagging for you guys. It seems to come and go a little bit. But yeah, you can turn any Romy into a folding stock. But these paratroopers were original factory RPKs done like that with the wire folder and the dong, and that's what made them so rare. So yeah, you can do it to anything. But let's see. Silver City and Idaho City still mine lead, I think. May still smelt for components. Maybe they do. See, lead is a component or a byproduct of silver mines. So wherever you got a silver mine, you're going to have lead usually, I believe. At least that's what I've read. So it'd be great if it's still out there. You know, I don't know. And then somebody said old sinkers, honky biscuit. Hell yes, it would. I hit up auctions all the time and buy the old sinkers. Do you find them in any quantity? And sinkers today, you go buy fishing sinkers and they're steel or tin or something. They're not lead. They're much harder. Tree huggers don't want you tossing lead sinkers in their lakes. Big goddamn deal. Anyhow, there we go. I said it. Connection's unstable. Hell yes, I would hit up auction. Okay. Unique Smokeless Trail Boss and MMR 4198. IMR is my favorite. Unique, yeah. Unique, you can use it on so many things that they shouldn't call it unique. Trail Boss, I've heard good things for the 45 long Colts, which I reload a lot of. And I load some hot ones, man. You can't shoot it through a regular Colt. Or the early Vaqueros, but the new Vaqueros you can somewhat. But I've got a Henry lever action and 45 long Colt, and that'll take some hefty loads, and I ram those things up there. And guess what? The hotter the load, the more accurate that thing shoots. Jake saw that thing in person remember Jake, when I was loading them hot ones? Damn, that thing, what a thumper. What a fun rifle. Got to do some lever action videos. So much I'm always thinking about what to do for videos. And when I'm trying to think of something, I can't come up with it. But then you guys bring these stuff up. So yeah, good ideas. And you're going to see them all coming here. Maybe the lever action sooner. Moe's and the Gants. Anybody want to see that? I mean, God, there were so many of them for so long. I collected them and then just dropped it. 4198. I've never used any IMR powder, so I don't know what I'd use it for, but I got to find something to do my M1 Grand loads. I heard there's a certain burn rate I should use. I don't want to get into reloading too much because a lot of guys get bored with it and they'll drop off here, so we won't talk too much about it. But Mateo, don't knock it, Rockford. From an 11-inch barrel, it will outperform by 39 from a 60. Oh, yeah, I know. I get that. I'm not knocking it at all. I'm just saying you need that longer barrel for it to perform is all. I'm not knocking it. I love my ARs just as much as my AKs. More so lately. I really got into it. I enjoy building them. I enjoy shooting them. Took our DMR rifle out to 200 yards and really did some shooting. I realized like an idiot. Here's a good subject, talking about optics, right? So I've had this scope on this AR for at least a couple of years. My wife bought it for me for Christmas a couple of years ago. And it's a 2.5 by 10 primary arms. And I had it sighted in. I go out to 200 the other day, and I'm about 3.5 inches low and 3.5 inches right. So I know it's 1/10 adjustments on the scope. So I make it, I dial them all in. I'm going to be right on, right? I go back, I fire 5 rounds. I go to check. It didn't hit the paper. I'm going, what the hell? How am I not on paper? So I get to thinking, I go, oh, shit. For whatever reason, I had a brain fart. And 200 yards is what? You know, if you're minute of angle is 100 yards, right? So at 200, you got to cut your clicks in half, essentially, right? So I figured that's it. That's what I forgot. I forgot I'm at 200. I got to do that. But then I'm like, wait a second. Even in half, I'd be on the paper. What the hell? And I'm thinking, it just must be a fluke. I'm looking at the scope and I'm adjusting, and it says on the scope, each click is 1/10 of a mil. And I go, oh, all of my optics are all MOA. This scope is adjustable in mils. So 1 MOA at 100 yards is 1 inch. 1 mil at 100 yards is roughly 3.6 inches. So when I adjusted for 3 3/4 inches, doing it at thinking I was at 100 and I'm at 200, that's what threw it off between mil versus MOA and 100 yards versus 200 yards. Sure, I threw it way the hell off. So I brought it back in. Everything was fine. So I'm thinking that's what's been messing me up all these years on this scope and why I really didn't like it. So now I got to get used to my thinking in mils versus MOA. And I really don't like that when everything else is, it's easy when you're thinking 1 inch versus 100 yards, 2 inches versus 200 yards. It's a whole nother to think 3.6 inches at 100 yards versus 1.8 at 200 and so on. So yeah, it's not as easy to figure, not as quick to do in your head, that kind of thing. And plus when you're just used to MOA, you're used to MOA. So really, really screwed me up. And bugged the crap out of me. Anyhow, got that handled. And we'll have a video coming out on that too. I got so much footage shot. I just got to put these things together. But all right, let's go here. Really, boxes full of those lead sinkers. Yeah, buy them up, man. We'll melt them. I'm going to get the molds, RCBS molds or one of them, Lee molds, whatever. And we'll mold the lead and just put it away, right, for a rainy day. Honky Biscuit, badass gun and rounds. Yes, it is. Love my 45 Henry Big Boy. That's what I have. Is yours mine's the brass one. The Big Boy, Golden Boy, whatever. I love it. I got the 22 and then I got the 45 Long Colt. They're like Swiss watches, man. If you guys don't own a Henry, do yourself a giant favor and go buy the 22. The yellow boy, the golden boy, they call it. Or silver boy. That's a gorgeous rifle. Wow. You talk about just, it's like a fine watch. It's incredible. Love just messing with those guns. Trail bus for 38 special. I should shoot more 38 special. I've got Jake gave me honky dude here gave me tons of 38 stuff and all the dies for it and everything. So I got a ton of wad cutters, all kinds of stuff. 45 Colt is brass, big boy. Yeah, my 22 is standard. Mine's brass too, but love them. Love them. I want to hunt deer with my long Colt. Just a cool gun. But yeah, so many good questions today, guys. It's so nice to have you guys involved and asking questions. It's really cool. It gives us stuff to talk about, gives me ideas for videos, all that good stuff. Tactical Cool Gent, good to have you. Took probably 50 guns to the range for a new shooter friend. He kept going back to the Henry 22 lever action suit, isn't it? It's just a great gun. Just fun. I'm not quite, I got to do some more shooting with my 45. I'm not so sure it doesn't have an issue. Different things with loading where it would do some weird stuff and ejecting and stuff. I don't know. I got to mess with it some more. I shot it very little. I got to shoot it some more. But anyhow, what else? So we talked about the state of the AK market. We talked about the new IWI Galil Ace that's coming out. We talked about my top 5 favorite AK videos that are coming out. The first one's due to drop. For those of you that weren't here and heard it, we're going to have a little contest with it. And you guys are going to be the recipients. So I'm doing 5 videos of my favorite AKs. It's completely subjective. So don't be thinking, oh, Chris just said his top 5 are this and he left out this one. That's definitely a top 2 gun or whatever. It's not that. It's my favorites. My favorites. Subjective. Yes, it will revolve around quality, accuracy, how the gun shoots, its history, how it looks, how it feels, everything. Real world stuff, but also very subjective from my end, what I think of it. And I'm doing them in no order. I'm not doing number 5, number 4, number 3. I'm doing them in total random order. The first video that drops could be my favorite. The last one could be my favorite. You won't know. On the 5th video, we will then announce my order of how I rank them. You guys will have the chance to email me or comment, or however I do it, the order of what you think are my favorite 1 through 5. And whoever gets it right, the first one to get it right will win a nice prize. So be ready for that. Be watching the videos and make sure you watch them all the way through, because I'm commenting on them, what I like, what I don't like, or why I like them. And you guys will have to get all the input to figure out which one I like best and the order. So be watching for those. Those are fun videos. I filmed the first one already. It's awesome. I'll put it together when I'm done here. Let's see. I was probably only one that had a bad Henry years ago. I had a bent barrel and ghosted round. No, man, you have some terrible luck. I'm telling you. Chase Kelly, the Hornady 45 Colt FTP critical defense rounds are magic in deer at 150. I reload XTPs and I pump them things up to the hilt, boy. And when you fire one, you know it. Let me tell you, it's a thumper. But yeah. Chris, you mean The Rock? Oh, yeah, you're right. The Rock, that's me. And actually, you know what? I'm kind of glad you guys came up with that. Whoever, I don't know who came up with that, who started calling me Rock, but I'm glad you did. A, it's kind of cool. B, it's Rockford Ordnance. I should have chosen another name. I don't know. My son chose the channel. And at the time we lived in Rockford, or near Rockford, and it just made sense. And, it's always been done with the idea that we're going to open an FFL. And we are. I promise you we are one of these days. So, yeah, Rock came out cool. I'm trying to figure out a logo for the channel for Rockford Ordnance. And something we can use on stickers and t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. So if any of you guys got any ideas, or you're artists, or whether you're a bar napkin artist and you have an idea of what it should be or what should be in it, because I don't know, I've thought about a rock, a mountain peak and RO stamped into it, or the Rockford, or I don't know. Any ideas you guys can come up with? Jake's an artist, by the way, tattoo artist by trade. He has done a lot of my ink, but so he could probably come up with something. He should do something for me. But any of you guys got any ideas, throw it out there. I'd like to see it. That'd be cool. Sorry, Rock, China and Serbia are my favorite AKs, but the Velmetta is the Cadillac. Yep. Last week, guy commented that he had a Velmetta, guy I know from a shop I know, and I did get a chance to stop by today because I was running late to be on here. I could have been checking out this Velmet. I'm surprised he's not in here tonight. He's probably pissed I didn't show up, or he sold it already, one of the two. Let's see. What do I think about? Hold on. Chat's moving, so I don't want to miss any of your stuff. What do you think about the Giselle AK recoil spring? I found them to be most irreplaceable, as most AKs seem to be overgassed these days. AKs are always overgassed. It's part of the design. That's what makes them as reliable as they are. They got a little more oomph to get the shell in there no matter what, right? So they gas them more to make them work even in tough conditions and inclement weather and all that other good stuff. So the replacements I've used have been, what the hell are they? ALG. Now, ALG is a subsidiary of one of the trigger companies, and it might be Gazelle. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up, but I think maybe his wife broke off and did that company or something, but it's a subsidiary. So maybe we might be talking about the same spring, but the ALG spring has the tight woven coils in the center of it, where instead of the coils being spaced out, right in the center, there's about 6, 7, 8 coils that are all tight together. And supposedly it changes something with the harmonics of it. I put them in my Yugo guns because of some of the reports of cracked receiver on an NPAP, and seems like all the Yugo guns, the springs were so easy. It does make them seem so smooth, and I never had a problem with them. And most of the rounds through my AKs or through my Yugo AKs have been fired without the spring. But with it, you can definitely feel it when you rack that gun, and they do work well. So I almost thought they were so stiff that maybe I'm getting a little barrel dip as that gun comes into battery. I don't know. I should do some slow motion video and see if that's the case or not. But really hasn't had an effect on accuracy or anything like that. But then again, haven't had any issues with function or anything. They've all worked great. Yeah, definitely. You want to talk about overgassed 5.56 AKs. And I wonder if that doesn't come from early 5.56 guns having issues here in the U.S. The early Arsenal guns in 5.56 had problems. So I wonder if some of these companies, well, the 5.56 is hard to get to run, and man, we'll just gas it some more. But you've never seen a gun shoot brass. I've never seen any gun, handgun, rifle, anything in the world shoot brass as far as a SAM 5. I'm not kidding you. It's 60 feet. It's insane. It's like, choom, gone. Try finding your brass. Lots of luck. Lots of luck. If you get hit by one, it'll probably take half your head off. I don't know. It's crazy, though. But, yeah, if those are the same springs, if they're ALG springs, if they got that coil, then, yes, I'm familiar with them. If it's not, I'm not familiar with them. But if it comes from them, I'm sure they're great. Oh, Joe, you brought it up. You're so funny. I almost did this gun. So Joe says, I'm okay with Henry as a company, but would rather have a Morocco Winchester. So on Gunbroker the other day, and an 1876 Winchester, new manufacturer, comes out. and they did the case hardening, and it was blue and purple and just gorgeous, gorgeous octagon barrel. And I told the guy sitting next to me, I said, I got to have that. I got to have it. I'm getting it. No problem. Done. It's so beautiful. And I know about Morocco. It's, you think, oh, it's made in Japan for Winchester. Yeah, but think of them as like, I don't know how you think of them. It's not like China, okay? Think of them like German ball bearings, right? Or something like that. It's just, their stuff is beautiful. Beautiful. Better than most of the stuff Winchester put out in the day. I mean, they're really, really finely done. The only thing that upset me with it is it's not real case hardening. It's applied through the use of chemicals. But when I say gorgeous, and it looks real, and the wood, and what a rifle. Just one of those ones where I was drooling on it. I'm like, I got to have it. And then what happened? I missed the auction. I had 2 hours to go. I'm like, okay, it's coming up. Remind me. And somebody says, hey, we got busy. And I went, oh, I missed it. Anyhow, there'll be another one. But this one, the pattern and the case hardening was unbelievable. What a beautiful gun. Joe, you're right. I mean, it's one of the prettiest guns I've ever seen in my life. I put it in I've got a made for lever action rack with a plexiglass cover and all for on the mantle. I'd put it in there. Unbelievable. Someone must have dropped it hard or something, I guess, Joe. Very unfortunate. I didn't read it. I do the same thing in my 357 SIG. I run the XTPs. Yeah, it's a hell of a round, man. Joe Morgan, Rockford. Logo like the Zimbabwe flag with the crossed AKs. You think? I want to do something with rock, though. I don't know. I don't know. Come up with ideas. I'll look at them all. Yeah, it's here in Pennsylvania. ALG equals yes. Okay. So then, yeah, it's a great spring. Do it. Great spring. Great spring. Let's see. A couple more here. Traded for a WBP mini jack recently. Holy crap, fit and finish is the best I've ever seen. Not sure if you got lucky or what. Anyone have experience? WBPs are beautiful guns. I've never shot one, but Misha loves them. They think they're one of the top guns. I agree. I've seen one. I've held one. I haven't shot it. They are finished wonderfully. The Polish guns are outstanding. That's a great deal right now, too. So don't hold back if you're looking at a Polish gun and you're not sure what's what. They're good. They really are. The Fox and whatnot, nice guns. ALG are his wife's initials. That's what it was. But I do think she does something with the company, too, on that end. But, yeah, best trigger on the planet. I've been touting Jake. I've been touting ALG triggers in those guns longer than anybody has. When they first came out, I started using them. They are by far the best. My stuff is, some of it's scary. It's so just done. Then the reset, I buy the UL. A lot of guys think they're too light. I buy the UL because the reset's so short. It's incredible. Yeah, you did strike a nerve on Morocco. What are you talking? God damn, what a beautiful gun. Just should be in a museum. Case hardening is awesome. My matching Vaqueros are case colored. Mine are stainless, polished stainless, but I'd like case hardened. And I need another Vaquero. I need a matching pair. I want to shoot cowboy action. Anybody shot cowboy action? I need somebody to take me to my first shoot and show me what's going on, how to do it. Me and Jake went to my first 3-gun. That was a fiasco, huh, Jake? I don't want the same thing to be with cowboy action. I'd like to go and have fun, actually. Vaqueros case color hardened, really something with copper pearl grips. Wow, that must be nice. You got to shoot me a picture of those, Chase. That sounds awesome. I love cowboy stuff. Great job on your recent Zastava video, Jose Moreno. I'm on the fence about the M91. Any day thoughts, ALG. Yeah, good to go on that. The M91 here, if I'm gonna do it, and I hope they're not listening because I love them, but if I'm gonna do one, I'm gonna do a Romanian one. Simply, I like the wood look better. It's what I've wanted for a long time. The gun's a little too modern for me, and the Romy comes with either the Russian or the Romanian scope, if you can find one still. Just more original, I think. I don't know. I like it, so I'd probably go that route. But nothing wrong with it. I shot it. That thing it's a nice gun. Don't get me wrong. It's just I want the other variant, the other manufacturer. That's all. Maybe because I've got all the RPKs and all. I just thought, I'd kind of finish something off. Do you guys polish the ALGs? No. Don't touch an ALG. You don't need to do nothing to it. If you run it in for, first of all, the ULs, you don't. They are nickel boron, whatever. Those things are slicker and slick. But the ELs, I've got trigger pulls as light as, I've got them under 3 pounds without touching them, right? If you feel a little grit, run the gun first. Run it for 500 rounds, 300 rounds, whatever. If you still feel a little something is just bugging you, I guarantee the trigger pull will be there. The brake will be there. All this stuff will be there. If you want to polish them up, sure, go for it on the EL, not the UL. Krebs polishes his ALGs that he puts in his guns, and they are incredible. But he doesn't do the UL, he does the EL, and he does his own thing with the hump and whatnot. So I don't have to reprofile them. I haven't found the need. Just fabulous trigger. If you guys like, I'll do one. I've got an install job on an ALG. I got a video on it. Take a look at it. Interesting video. I did it on my mini whatchamacallit, my Romanian mini Draco. But yeah, you don't need to do nothing on those triggers. They're fabulous. I'm talking about ALG. Oh, the AKT. Yes. Now I know yeah. So the AKT, so you guys know, everyone thinks there's just 2 types of ALG triggers for the AK. And look at me. I know there's 3, but nobody ever talks about the other one. They talk about the EL and the UL, but there's the AKT. The AKT is the OEM version. So, for instance, when all the AK manufacturers were using Tapco G2 triggers, and those were, we'll talk about friggin' junk. I laugh at the guys that used to rave about those things because it took so much work to get those things in line. It was ridiculous. And even then you didn't get rid of it holding the goddamn bolt open. But I'll talk about that in a minute. But anyways, when Tapco went out of business, nobody knew what to do for triggers. So ALG stepped up, and that's why you didn't see any ELs and ULs. They vanished from the planet. Guys were getting $200 for a trigger that was a $60 trigger. It was because they were ramping up to build an OEM trigger for the industry. So they built a cheapy, quick trigger that had all the good stuff ALG had, but just not quite as finely finished. And they could sell it to Century, and they could sell it to whoever the hell else is putting them in their guns, Palmetto State and all the other ones, whoever else is using it. And it's just not as refined ALG trigger. So yes, those by all means polish the hell out of trigger jobs on it. Jake will attest to my trigger jobs of anything out there. But I just haven't had one. I haven't had a takeoff or anything of one of those AKTs to mess with. So if anybody's got one they're laying around, they want to get rid of it, send it my way, and I'll see what I can do and show it to you when we're done. I'll show you the process and show you when we're done with it. So that'll be kind of cool. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I didn't know you were talking about the AKT. Yeah, there's no need to mess with the EL or the UL. So no big deal there. No big deal. Sorry, guys, I misunderstood it. But yeah, you don't need to do that. That being said, those triggers, I've never had an issue with any of them except the one going into my end pap for whatever reason. When the bolt came back, the hook on the hammer was so high that I had to file it down. I had to take quite a bit off of it. And talking about the G2s, guys, I don't know how they ever came up with that design, because I said this last week before maybe, you look at standard Romanian triggers, etc. The hammer is so flat. There's none of this hump. They're flat. Next week I'll show you one on here, and I'll show you. I'll have all 3 triggers set ready to go, and we'll go through them. And I'll show you what those huge humps are. What when guys bring the bolt back and they ride it forward and they go, oh look, it sticks, it stops. And yeah, I've had some guns where you could hold that bolt would hold wide open on the trigger hump till you gave it a whack or something. And that doesn't happen on factory triggers. That's what's cool about the Zastava. You get the factory trigger. And did you guys notice? I bet a bunch of you didn't even notice. The ZPAP is a double hook trigger. So kind of cool. Might have to mess with one of those too. I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow, yeah, we'll do a trigger video. How does that sound? I got a bunch of Arsenal triggers, Vepr triggers, everything under the sun. We'll go through them all, and I'll show you the differences and the good and the bad and the ugly, and we'll go from there. So that'll be kind of cool. What's your email, Rock? It's Rockford Ordnance, but it's not spelled like the channel. The channel is ordnance, like military ordnance. So it's ORD. God, I got to be writing it to do it. ORDNANCE. And then there's ordnance, like a city ordinance. Well, that's my email. Don't ask how it got started. My kids did the setup on all of this and didn't know how to spell ordnance properly. Actually, you can send it. I have both emails, so you can send it to both. But the one that's spelled wrong actually gets all the action, so I hesitate to change it because I'll not receive anything. So it's rockfordordnance@gmail.com. Ship it on over, and I'll take a look at it. Anywho, man, we've been on an hour and 40 minutes. I should get going here. But let's check back in real quick here. Tapco trigger need to be reprofiled a bit. A bit? I bet I take a half inch off those damn things, or damn close to it. 3/8. I don't know. And even then, in some AKs, the hammer interferes. Yeah, they're just a terrible design. They for the time, I guess they were okay, but man, Christ, I don't know what they were thinking. Great point. G2 is meh. Yeah, it just was. ALG is light years. It's a fabulous trigger. When that thing came out, the first one I touched, I'm like, this is it. This is it. I was telling everybody, and nobody knew about them this going back a few years. And guys would, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, really? Try one. And now look, they're the biggest trigger in the game. They do. There's break. Yeah, the brakes are right, but yeah. Let's see. Dissident Arms does good work on the ALG triggers. I have a few of them on my Veprs. Yeah, on the AT on their OEM trigger. I had no reason to touch the other ones. C double hook, AK trigger is only AK trigger for me. I don't really care either way, double hook, single hook. I don't. To me, the profile and what the brake is like, and the reset is what's in it for me. And that's what makes how fast the trigger can be, right? So and over travel too, but the reset is where it's at. That's what you got to watch. That's what you're worried about. The smoothness, guys, you'll sit there, I'm sitting on your couch and you're like, oh, I can feel, I think I feel, is that think about when you're at the range. None of that bullshit matters. It's all about the reset. So polish makes you feel good when you're sitting in front of the TV. When you're on the range, it's all about the reset, the over travel, that stuff. So polish to your heart's content. But polish ain't where it's at, really. At the end of the day, it's like stippling a Glock. That's mental masturbation. The guy, here's what happens, right? So you're holding a pistol, right? The side of the pistol grips, everybody stipples the whole side of them, right? Guess what? that ain't where you're gripping the pistol. The front and back strap is where all the grip is. So it's mental masturbation, stippling the sides of them. Forget it. You don't need to. Stipple the front, stipple the back, and you're done. It's the same thing with polishing triggers. Yeah, one day you guys will understand. One day, a lot of you do. Don't take that wrong. It's just, I just laugh a lot. It's like, oh my God, I get it. It looks cool. I'm all about looking cool. I get it. I did. You know what? Somebody said that the other day, and I just, oh no, that's Columbo. I'm thinking of Columbo, where he come. You know why? For those of you old enough to remember Columbo, you know why he was always looking down? When someone would ask him a question, he'd go, Mrs. And he's rubbing his nose and he's looking down. You know what that was for? I watched an interview on it one time. He was looking for, they put marks or footprints where they're supposed to be standing for the camera, and looking for those to make sure he was on them and to give him some time to think of his line. That's what he said. Peter Falk was his name that played Columbo. Yeah, that's what it was about. Dandy dude, same with grip tape. Oh, I got a phone call. My dad's calling me. I got to call back. Put him on hold. Anyhow, yeah, grip tape, exactly. Front and back, that's all you need. That's exactly the kind of thing I see, man, others do are for looks and doesn't make them shoot better, faster. No, it doesn't. Reset and over travel are what make a trigger faster. And that's the whole reason you do a trigger. Speed, my man. I do have a PSL. My issue is the whole 147 grain or lower in order to not beat rifle, whereas the M91 could chew up a 180 grain pill. I don't know about that. I've never looked into them that deep. I don't know that I'd worry so much about beating up the rifle. Consider the source you heard it from. Let me know. Let me know a little more of what you heard exactly. Send me an email or comment on any one of my videos. Put the comment in, and you can go a little more in depth, and I'll tell you what I think. Because I've never worried much about beating up cold hammer forged chrome line barrel. Never. So yeah, let me know. Let me know. It'd be interesting. Okay, with beauty marks kind of steer. Great. This is our best one yet. Best one. You guys got involved. Make sure you like the video down there. If you feel so inclined, throw us a super chat. We put it right back into the channel. Things are expensive out there, guys. But if you feel so inclined, we would most certainly appreciate it. And that's about it. Let me know, shoot me some comments on any one of the videos, anything in the community page. There's a community page on YouTube. You can go in there, I think. I'll start checking that on our Facebook, our Instagram, whatever you see, throw a comment. I try to get to it all. And I answer almost every question or every comment I read and I comment on. I make sure that, and as long as I can do that, unless this thing blows up super big, I'll continue to do it as much as I can. But I appreciate it. This was a great chat, and thank you guys. There's so much cool stuff to talk about. It's awesome, isn't it? I hope you guys are getting out. Everything's opening up. Man, traffic's getting worse again, everything. I hope you all are doing well and take advantage of this. Get out there and shoot. Don't worry about ammo, guys. Ammo will be around. I bet I've shot in the last 2 weeks. I bet I shot 1,000 rounds. You can see a 9 video that's going to make some of you guys cringe. I shot so much 9. You'll be thinking, what the hell's wrong with them? I'm just done with it. I wanted to get out and shoot, man, and that's what I did. I put a lot of this into it, pulling that reloader, right? So what the hell? Got out there and did it. Get out there and shoot, train, do some drills. Don't go to the range, sit at the bench and toss lead at the punching holes in paper. You're not going to get any better. You're not going to learn anything, and you're certainly tactically not going to get better. Look up some simple drills. I'll bring you a video when I can on some simple drills that you can do. and make yourself better. Get down on the ground, lie prone, get in a position you normally wouldn't shoot from. Because guess what? When the stuff hits the fan, you're not going to be sitting at a bench, right? You're going to be crumpled up behind something, hiding for dear life as they're zinging past, and you're going to have to return fire. Keep calm and return fire. I got a t-shirt the other day that says that. Love it. That's my favorite thing. Keep calm and return fire. Because guess what? When they start zipping, zip, 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 guess what? Everybody's butthole goes like that. And the guys that ain't been there, that ain't heard it, yeah, they flip out. And that's time when somebody's got to take charge. Keep calm and return fire. That's what it comes down to. Anyhow, get out there, do something different. Not the same old, because it ain't the same old, okay? So, yeah, failure drills, footwork. I suck at footwork. I train on it. You guys will see videos of me. I try walking, keeping your rifle level and your optic on target. See how hard it is, guys. I've had to work. You'll see some of my videos with Scorpion, etc. I'm shooting at very small plates, and I'm doing it. You hear the ping, 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 ping. Much harder than it looks. Who said that comment? Try it before they comment. It's hard to keep your footwork right and keep on target and keep moving. And if you're not moving, you're what? Dead. Absolutely. Keep moving. It's all about moving. You cannot stay static. Anyhow, get out there, train, do something different. Look up some quick drills. There's a million videos. Look them up and do them. Learn something every day, because sitting there throwing lead at paper ain't teaching you nothing, ain't getting you better, ain't going to save your life or keep your family safe. Anyhow, do all the above. Love your family. Keep everything straight. Keep your life together. It's all about God, family, and what we believe in, right? I've been staying away from the political because I think you guys all know where I stand. Do me one favor, though. There's that open comment period open right now with the ATF on the 80% receivers and all the other stuff. Get on there and make your comments. We have to get our comments in there. We turned it around on the the braces real quick. A few days, they shut it down and got rid of it. Hasn't happened this way. I don't think enough of you guys are commenting, and I don't see other YouTubers commenting and telling you guys to go there and do it. So go there and do it. If you guys haven't, do it. Make sure you do. One last run through, and I'm going to say goodbye. Go to range to get better, faster, and smarter. Most of what I do is footwork and failure drills. Good job. Transition from pistol rifle. Absolutely. How many of you guys even have slings on you, right? I laugh. I go to the range and nobody's got a sling. Where are you going to put that thing when you got to run, when you got to grab something, when you got to grab a buddy, when you got to pull your pistol because you're out of ammo? What are you going to do with it? Toss it at them? Get your stuff together, guys, and get ready. Know how you're going to move that gun behind you so you can draw that pistol and return fire. Got to work on it. Forget about buying more. Outfit what you got. Today I learned people 100 years ago built a badass gun. Mateo, back at you. Hey, Orion, what's going on, man? I'm sorry you showed up late. I feel bad. I'm leaving now. I mean, you guys, when guys that have supported this channel for a long time come in late, I feel bad, but I got to run. Been on 2 hours, and I didn't even say hi to anybody when I walked in. I walked in the door and ran down here as usual. It's a 2-point. Good job, Joe. I wasn't talking to you, Joe, in particular. I'm just saying, guys I see at the range, it's a joke. You know, half of them, hey, if you got your rifle sighted in, you're ahead of 80% of the people. How's that sound? Anyhow, thank you guys so much. Thanks for tonight. Tonight was just a ton of fun and a really good chat. So let's keep it up. Tuesdays, we'll keep doing the same thing, and watch for those videos dropping this week on the favorites and all. Thanks for everything, guys. Get out there, support the second, and bring somebody into the sport. Thanks again. Have a great night. And as always, Rockford Ordnance out.